Hey, how's it going, guys? Good evening, all. Well, good morning, good afternoon. I don't know what time you're watching this, really. But to be honest with you, my head's all over the place right now. Being a Newport County fan means that it's pretty much going to be the same for everybody right now. Well, I mean, it's been stewing in my mind exactly what I'm going to say on this blog. To be honest with you, I was hoping to record it last night. I was like, no, I just don't know what the hell to say tonight. To be honest with you, I don't really know what to say. But I think it's just ruling with your head or your heart on this one. Obviously, here we going down. The heart says no. The head says yes. Is Wesley the right man for us? The heart says yes. The head says no. Really, I'm going to quote the man himself actually and say his record speaks for itself. Obviously, is one of the first quotes we heard when he first took the job. My record speaks for itself. Well, I believe it's one win in 19 or 17. I've seen people say 19. I've seen people say 17. Either way, it doesn't matter what number that is. That's still poor on anyone's standard for any club. And to be honest with you, if we don't get a win soon, we're just going to run out of games, and it's going to be it. It's going to be over. I think playing a team like Leyton Orient while they got their captain suspended and youth team players having to fill in positions because they just haven't got the players there. It looks as though they're a club, I think, that's resigned to relegation. For us, we're not going to do that. Obviously you all watched my rally call. Even now we're still in this. No matter what, we're still in this. We're still in with a chance, as slim as it seems. Tomorrow night there's a few teams playing. I think some of the teams who are in our relegation fight are playing as well, and there are some teams in poor form still. I know Notts County are getting points, but so are we. We're getting the odd point here and there. It's the same as them. I know they're winning the odd game, but they're still losing games as well. Hartlepool are in really bad form. Now, if we're going to look at someone who we're going to pip for it, Hartlepool have to be the ones. To be honest with you, I think. It's difficult to talk about it at the moment, guys. It's all in your heads. It's all it's in my head. 25 years of hard work to bring us the greatest day of our lives, and the whole thing is just going to be wiped clean by one awful fucking season. To say it's a bad season, I think if we had this season last year, we wouldn't even be in relegation. We wouldn't even be in a relegation fight. If we had last season this year, we'd be done already, I think. And I know a few people might scrutinise that claim, to be honest. But I think we have got better players in our team than what we had last year, except for the exception, maybe Mark Byrne. Mark Byrne would have made a big difference for us this year. But look how unlucky we've been. You look at some of the players we've got. Sean Rigg for me is better than anyone we had last year, except Mark Byrne. Obviously Mark Byrne's exempt from any of this. Okay, so Labadie is better than anyone else we had last season. I think Ryan Bird is looking like a really tidy striker. I think Sid Nelson is better than any defender we had last season. I think O'Brien's a good signing. Joe Day, I'm going to get on Joe Day. I know he's not been the best of late, but his shot stopping is still superb. I think where he gives some goals away, he stops blatant goals with his saves. And for me, he's been better in and around his box, except I just think his distribution is just too poor. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. I'm going to get back to that one. Like I was saying, I think the players individually are better. We just haven't got the best out of them as a team. Last year, we had average players who managed to come together as a team under John Sheridan, keep it going under Feeney, but then once I think they thought that's it, we're safe, I think they just couldn't be bothered, as I've said many a time before. This season, I think this crop of players will work right up until the end, whether we're safe, whether we're down. We got a team of workers there. We got two of the players that brought us here in the first place. I know they're a bit older. People have scrutinised the signings of them. Obviously, Flinney was already with us. Get him to put his boots back on. Personally, I thought that was only going to be as a squad player. I didn't expect to see him in the centre midfield, as captain at Mansfield. But there he was. Unfortunately, he got injured because I thought he played really well against Morecambe. And at the end of the day, Wesley's going to pick the team that he thinks is best. But team selection is one of the big things that people are scrutinising him for. And I got to be honest with you, I got to agree with those people. The team selections have been a bit bizarre. But, this guy sees them in training all week. Maybe he's seeing something that we're not. But then whatever he's seeing in training just isn't being replicated on the pitch. I think we have been unlucky with injuries. I think having our best striker injured right from the beginning. I know he was meant to go to Grimsby, but at the end of the day, that would have come with a fee. That would have also come with a large amount of money on the wage budget being freed up, because at the end of the day, he is, I think, the second highest earner at the club, and he haven't kicked the ball for us all season. I think the first ball he chased down in that friendly match, he got brought down, knee went, that's it. So really, it's been against us right from the start. I think losing in the way we did towards the beginning, right at the beginning of the season, losing to Mansfield the way we did, and then going out the League Cup the way we did, late goals, being pegged back and being given dodgy penalties against us and things like that. I mean, when we did start getting it right, because I'm going to go on to the referee side of things now. I know a few people have talked down to me, to try to make a complete mug out of me on Facebook. So at the end of the day, right, I'm not a stupid arsehole, When you look at me, do you see a stupid arsehole? Don't answer that, of course. I think I opened myself up for that then, so call me what you want for now. But no, I'm not daft, right? I don't go to a game. I don't travel the country just to point the finger at the referee. I go there to support my team. And if they're bad, they're fucking bad. And I'll say it. If they played well, but they were unlucky, I'll say, well played, unlucky. In desperate times, it's harder to be able to do that. But I think the big thing is, if I think that we've been hard done by decisions which change games, decisions change games. Now, if a decision is given against us unfairly and it's changed the game, then I think we've got every reason to point the finger at the ref. I know you can say, though, it's so easy to blame the ref, but at the end of the day, we're 1-1, we're coming into the game well, and he sends him off for a second yellow like that. I mean, we were going to get a good draw at Cambridge. I know we were 2-0 up, but we were getting battered all game. So we'd have come away with an undeserved point in the end by the signs of it. But he gave the penalty. Morgan, blatant handball, didn't give the penalty. As blatant as you want. And then for us to concede the handball like we did, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, yeah, when you're angry, you start overthinking things and you think of conspiracies and things like that. And the more you think about it, the more you think, well, yeah, of course there's no conspiracy, because at the end of the day, what would the Football League gain by making us go out of the Football League, by telling the referees to make sure we lose games? Because at the end of the day, if that got out, that brings the Football League down in the same way as FIFA have been brought down, for the bribes and the World Cup and everything else, all the money laundering and all the FBI investigations and what they're looking into and everything like that. But, given the corruption in football, the absolute corruption everywhere, being the fact that we are a bit of a thorn in the side of the Football League at the moment, is this something we could really, really rule out? I mean, of course, really, when you think about it logically, there's no logical reason for them to go ahead and do that. But, we don't know their minds, do we? We don't know what's being said. But I think I'll leave that one there before I say anything that's going to make me, make you guys, give me more crap, because I've had people talking down to me and talking to me like I'm fucking doolally or something. So at the end of the day, say what you want. If we're being hard done by referees, we're getting fucking hard done by referees, and that's just fact. The fact is we lost to 2 set pieces that were given to them when they shouldn't have been. They were there only 2 goals. We should have had a penalty in the first half. And it gave offside is the most bizarre decision, ever. I mean, that a referee changing his mind, giving us a decision, when the Mansfield players shouted at him, he changes his mind for them. And this is happening too often now. This season we've seen it. Now, I'm going to say the good run we went on, we beat Accrington, we beat, in the league now, we beat Accrington, Notts County and Carlisle all in the same space of time, yeah? Yeah. Brilliant. We went on that good run and then get halted by a game. Now, remember this game, Wickham, Do you remember when the referee pulled his yellow card out to send him off? Well, he would have had to send him off. It would have been a second yellow card. Both challenges, both bookings. Goes to put his yellow card out. Hold on a minute, I've just booked him a minute ago. I better put it back away. No, you got the yellow card out because you felt it was a bookable offence. Now you complete another shithouse. You know? That's the game that halted our good run. Because from that moment, we went on a possibly the worst run I've ever seen as a Newport County supporter. It was after that game. Now, if we'd have won that game, I think that run could have gone on a bit further, and we could have been well out of this mess. Obviously, you know, the whole myth of the playoffs, you know, we could be in the playoffs by Christmas, you know, that's complete and utter bollocks, you know, because we still haven't got a good team. You know, we haven't got a playoff team anyway, so that was nonsense. I knew it was, but I thought if we could hold it in mid-table, you know, win a few, drop a few points here and there, but win a few here and there, you know, just stay safe in that mid-table, build on next season, actually keep some of these players now and actually build with the team that we've got. But that Wickham game halted everything. Now, we had one of the most blatant penalties ever not given to us, considering what we've been given against us all season. To not get that penalty against Wickham, you know, it is shocking. And then for them to get that free kick, which wasn't, for them to score the winner off it was a crushing blow, it was. And that completely derailed us. Obviously, the pitch haven't helped things, but we beat Carlisle on that pitch. You know, we should have beaten Wickham on that pitch, and then it all went spiralling downwards from there. So not only has those referee decisions, in my opinion, changed that one Wickham game, that's changed the course of our form. Now, we can't just blame a referee for us being at the bottom, because at the end of the day, we haven't got a squad good enough to be anywhere above mid-table right now. But at the end of the day, I think we've dropped a minimum of 10 points from poor refereeing. And they say the whole thing swings and roundabouts. It certainly doesn't, because we haven't got any points. I know someone mentioned the Barnett penalty was soft. No, I'm sorry, but I wasn't soft. If he takes his leg, he takes his leg. He swipes his ankle, he swipes his ankle. You know, he goes down, gets his ankle swiped, it's a penalty, I'm sorry. But they wouldn't think twice to give it against us, so why should we be worried that they've given it to us for a change? You know? I don't think poor refereeing has gifted us any points this season, but it's taken plenty away. Taken enough for us to be outside of the relegation zone at least. And if we do go down, and that is the difference, I think we can feel aggrieved. But at the end of the day, right, we can't put it solely on the referee decisions. You know, we can feel aggrieved, but we can't pin it solely on refereeing. You know, at the end of the day, we have been awful in plenty of games this season. Awful, absolutely awful. I think Joe Day, I love the guy to bits. You know, he's such a good bloke. You know, spoken to him many a time, and you know, I don't like having to say this, but I think Joe Day's goalkeeping has cost us points this season. I think Joe's just a little bit too indecisive in the area. I think his shot stopping, he's possibly the best shot stopper in the league, but his indecisiveness in the area is what's costing him. You know, if he could clear that up in his game, then you know he would be the best goalkeeper in the league without a shadow of doubt. I mean, we all said he was the best goalkeeper in the league when we had him on loan in the first place, and then when we signed him. But since we signed him, he haven't been the same keeper that was on loan with us. You know, and I say it kills me to say because I absolutely love the bloke to bits. He's brilliant, absolutely top bloke. But there we go. So yeah, I did say I'd bring Joe Day back into it, but no, I'm not gonna knock him anymore. Going on to Wesley now. I'm going to finish it off with Wesley. Obviously, we had a fan have a go at him at the game. I was there. I seen the fan shout at him. Didn't hear what was said. Been told a few different versions of what was said. But to be honest with you, I think when your team is facing relegation, when you watch your team die, they fell out of the Football League in '88, and they've only ever been in the Football League. They fell out of the Football League in '88, went out of business in '89, and then finally in 2013, they come back to the Football League. 4 years. That's all we got out of it is 4 years if we go down. You know, and that's gut-wrenching enough. But imagine what it's like for those people who had to live through those days back in the late 80s. Can you imagine what it's like? You know, obviously I'm the younger generation. I didn't have to live through those days. I was only a little toddler, you know, back when County went out of the Football League the first time. To go out of it a second time, to have to watch that happen to this club again, I can understand why emotions are running so high, and why people are so upset. So no, I'm not going to condemn the guy for doing what he did. If he truly believes that the manager is the reason why we're in this mess, but personally, I don't think it's just the manager. I think we can lay a fair bit of blame on Rodney Parade for not keeping that pitch maintained. Because you look at the players we signed. We signed a squad that was going to play football, and they can't play football on that pitch. Now, if you're not playing football on our own pitch, then we can't expect to play football in the same way on everybody else's pitch. But Warren Feeney was out of his depth, I know, but we still got a good squad there. He still put on paper, he put a really good squad together. Because we all seen it. We all said, oh yeah, we'll be all right this year, mid-table. We'll carry on growing. But so many different things have gone against us. Even like I said, the injuries. Josh Labadie's been injured all season. For me, he's our best player. Nothing's gone quite right. Played against Cambridge and we're playing with one centre back. Playing against Mansfield and we're playing with. We need Sid Nelson back. Basically, is what I'm saying. We need Sid Nelson back. Jamie Turley ate all season as well. Looking like a promising defender. Maybe taking a little bit of time to get into his own in the Football League, but the potential in the guy looked great. But like I say, the luck we've had this season has been shocking. Shocking luck. Too many shocking performances, shocking refereeing, and shocking maintenance of our pitch. So a lot of contributing facts to this season. Not all Newport County's fault. And to go on to the board, I'm going to say the board for the last minute, for about a minute or so. I'm going to mention the board. I think it is quite unfair for people to be calling them out as often, although they're the ones who made the appointments. So that's one thing that they've got to look at and deal with. At the end of the day, they're fans and they're hurting just as much as me and you. So you got to understand that it's got to be worse, so much worse for them, knowing that this is happening on their watch. So I'd say to cut them a bit of slack, but I would say to the board, just to be a little bit more open with a lot of things, because there are a lot of things being said. Personally, I'm supporting the board, but I would like to see them come out and answer these people who are scrutinising them. Rather than sitting back, just come out and I know you don't feel the need to dignify a defence for yourself, but at the end of the day, if these people are saying things and they're not true, then if you don't come out and respond, then if they're not true, people can actually think they are true because they won't know anything else. So that's what I'm going to say about that. But like I say, there's still plenty of time for us to be saved. But as the games go on and the points, and the points keep getting dropped, it's not going to be long until it's too late. So Leyton Orient is possibly the biggest game of our season so far. We've had so many biggest games of the season. This is the biggest now, and I think the £10 deal is going to be a big thing. And hopefully, I really, really hope that people take advantage of it and get down there and support them, because they fucking need it right now. We all do. So let's see where we go. Anyway, that's nearly 20 minutes of me rabbling on, guys. So I do apologise. I've got on a bit, but passions are high, and there was a fair bit to get through. So to be honest with you, I don't know how I managed to talk for 18 and a half minutes. I really don't know, because I really had no idea what I was going to say. So before I go into waffle mode, I call it now. But thanks again for watching, and up the county. Cheers.